This one of them videos that should have been addressed a very long time ago. When you find yourself behind that barbed wire, behind them walls, it don't matter from an inmate's perspective or from a correctional officer's perspective. Both people are going to have troubles when it comes to being respected. It isn't like, oh, since you're in an inmate's uniform, the guards are going to off-rip respect you due to the charges you're in there for. And it isn't like due to the fact that you're in a correctional officer's uniform, inmates are going to respect you because you work for the system and you have controls to everything. For this video, man, I'm going to tell you how it goes when it comes to respect between inmates and officers and between officers and inmates. Sit back and let's do it.
Same time of the week, better be there. Have my people send a message, make sure that it's there. Time for me to collect, bring the shit over here. Cause you can tell that my face don't make me come over there. I run up in your room, put my shank in your neck. Swear to God, I wet you up, better show me respect. I'm hitting licks like nut, break bread with dogs. Putting on for Eastside, Davey, this KFROG, this a robbery. Heard what I said, I got some names I won't say. Most of them dead, for that tunch you get there's a press on your head. Take the shit out your locker, throw it all on my bed. You got a daughter back you up, I don't care what you click. 2 lockers to fit both y'all shit. See me in the cut jamming, smoking the rip. Getting tatted with the money that your people are sent. See on the streets I would've bust you, but in prison I come cut you.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. KFROG TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Today I'm going to be talking about when it comes to being incarcerated or working inside of a prison. Do prison inmates and correctional officers respect each other? This is one of them topics that I should have spoke on a very long time ago, but I finally went down the list and decided, you know, this is the one that I'm going to choose to speak on. Okay? First, I'm going to speak on from an inmate's perspective, and then I'll go ahead and I'll speak on how it should have been by a guard's perspective. Okay? Now, everybody knows when it's from an inmate's perspective, you would think that it's going to go one or two ways, right? Either an inmate is going to respect the prison guard simply due to the fact that the prison guards run the system, have access, have the keys, you know, they control who goes in confinement, who gets taken out of confinement. You know, they can make it a lot less easier for you to violate and go to different parts of the compound that you're not allowed to be on. You know, they could turn their head on certain situations when it comes down to you doing something like stabbing somebody or drug deals or, you know, hustling or a fight. You know, or getting contraband in, even when it comes to conjugal visits. You know, they'll some of them turn your head and let you smash your old lady in the fucking, you know, closet or something at Vizzo. You know, like, you would think that inmates are going to off-rip respect prison guards due to that. Or you would think that they definitely are not going to respect them because they're officers and we're inmates. You know, who put you inside a prison? Somebody who works for the law, right? An officer. Even though it isn't the same officers, and there's a difference between a correctional officer and a cop, you know, but at the end of the day, you're in prison for breaking the law. You're not allowed to have your freedom. You're not allowed around your family. You're not allowed to have access to everything that you would have access to. And these people that work for the law, that work for the state, you know, are the ones that are in control of you. You know, they're the ones that are telling you what to do, when to eat, when to sleep, when to shit. You know what I'm saying? So you would think off rip, no, they don't respect them. I'm going to tell you like this. It's an up and down, okay? But I'm going to tell you the reason it's an up and down, okay? The reason that inmates sometimes respect guards and sometimes don't respect guards, it ain't really got nothing to do with the fact that one's a, you know, works for the system or the other one is an inmate. He broke the law. A lot of it has to do with the way that you carry yourself, believe it or not. An officer who acts normal, who doesn't abuse his authority, you know, who doesn't take his anger out and his problems at home out on inmates, you know, one that's cool, that just does his job and goes home, is going to get a lot more respect from people rather than trying to be a bully to inmates, trying to show inmates you don't take no shit. You know, and try to put down on inmates and act like you're a badass and want to fight inmates and put your hands on inmates. And, you know, shit like that ain't going to last that long. You feel me? Because the same people that play cool with that type of guard and the same people who are actually cool with that type of officer don't respect that officer though. They're just riding the wave, you know what I'm saying? They're just riding it his way, the way that he's got it programmed, you know, but there's really no respect for that guard. You see what I'm saying? And it's only a matter of time. Now, if it's another guard, like I said, that carries himself the way he should carry himself, that shows that inmates are just humans just as well as they are. They're just people who fucked up in life, you know, or people who were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or people who had an actual good reason to commit the crime that they committed. You know what I'm saying? If they treated them like that, more guards would get respect. You see what I'm saying? They would be respected rather than just, you know, people just going with the flow of how they act. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, and the guards get that shit in their head, because a lot of people may look like they respect these guards, but really they don't. You know what I'm saying? And an officer who acts like he's about that life and that puts his hands on inmates or abuses his authority and shit like that will get swung on quicker than one that's cool with inmates, that respects inmates as humans. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might look like the ones that are yelling at inmates and putting down on inmates, you know, got inmates in check more. It might look like, you know, they got more like in check, like they got that shit on lock. They got control over these inmates more than the ones that don't act like that towards the inmates. But in all reality, if it came down to who was going to get swung on first, or who would get their face ripped open, or who would get stabbed up by inmates first, it would be the guards that abuse their job. The ones that want to try that put down shit. And I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 of those same officers that are like that, the ones that kind of try to demand the respect from inmates, I guarantee you 9 out of 10 of those don't carry themselves the same way on the streets. They won't do that to a regular stranger on the streets. They won't act like that to regular people that they see in their day-to-day life. They do it to inmates because at the end of the day, no matter how little or severe the situation gets, them guards know they'll have the upper hand and be able to get away with it. You see, that's why. You feel me? That's why. They'll feel like at the end of the day, it's very rare for the system to side with an inmate who's already in there for breaking the law over a guard who works for the system. You see? That's how I look at it. You feel me? It isn't like you're going to just be a bullied inmate and make guards respect you either. You see what I'm saying? People think that just because they're in prison and they beat up other inmates or they stab other inmates up, and certain guards that allow it to go on and certain guards that pay attention and know what's going on or know your background of your case, know that you got a violent crime, know that you don't take no shit, you know you hurt people. They think that that makes guards respect them. And that isn't true either. You see what I'm saying? That guards still don't respect you. You feel me? You being a solid individual, you know, and not giving them a hard time for no reason, you know what I'm saying, is what will make a prison guard respect you. It isn't because you fight people and will hurt people and you got a serious charge. You caught a couple bodies. Other camps you were at, you stabbed a bunch of people. You feel me? Rumors are you killed people at other camps. You know, those type of things don't make prison correctional officers respect you. You know what I'm saying? They got that ego. They got that inner ego to where they want to feel more powerful than you. So if you're one of those inmates that come in there like that and you think that's what's going to get you the respect from correctional officers, that correctional officer will want to make himself feel bigger than you. So if you're up here with respect by a lot of inmates and shit like that, and here comes this prison guard and he kind of like belittle you and try to act like he can overpower you and walk all over you, it's kind of like he's trying to take, okay, you're up here, well, I'm here then. You see, they're not going to respect you because of that. You know, and a lot of inmates, you know, and this is coming from a convict's perspective, a lot of inmates carry theirself that type of way because they think that the bully route on other inmates and that their charge is worse than others' charges is going to make other inmates respect them. So they feel like since they already got to do that anyways, they feel like they can make the guards respect them along the line as well. And I'm here to tell you that shit makes it a whole lot more difficult than it does if you were to just do your time in a respectful way. All right? Me personally, obviously I've been to prison. Okay? People watching this channel obviously been to prison or know somebody that has been to prison. Okay? I didn't just slip and fall and land in prison. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I did something I wasn't supposed to do or been somewhere I wasn't supposed to be at the wrong time and landed in prison. You feel me? But at the end of the day, I know that and I accept that. So by me going to prison for breaking the law, you know, not obeying with society, I expect and I'm ready for the guards to not be respectful. You understand? I know they're not going to just open the door and be like, yeah, come on in, sir. Find your bunk, you know, sleep all day. You know, don't make your bed. You feel me? We'll bring chow to your cell. You know, I already know that it ain't going to be like that, and it wasn't going to be like that due to the fact that they're not going to want you to enjoy prison. You get what I'm saying? There's a tactic that these guards got to use. They got to show discipline. They got to bring this shit and present it to where you don't get too comfortable and want to come back by catching another charge again. You feel what I'm saying? So that's common sense. Everybody should know that. You feel me? But you can also observe and peep the differences in the guards that are just doing their job and the ones that are trying to abuse it, that literally want to make your time extra hard. You know, the ones that literally want to put their hands on you and hurt you and things that they feel like they can get away with because they've been getting away with it for years. You see what I'm saying? Every institution you go to, there is going to be some cool guards and there's going to be some fuckboy officers. Straight like that. Same thing with the inmates. There's going to be inmates that are cool and there's going to be some fuckboy inmates. And there's going to be inmates that are respected by officers and there's going to be inmates that aren't respected by officers. You see? And the same thing goes back and forth. And the reason for that is because no matter where you go, you're stuck there. Right? You're going to be able to notice and identify the difference in the two. You're going to be able to know which guards are cool and which guards aren't. You're going to hear the name of the dickhead officer off rip, probably before you even see him. Or the first time you see him, people are going to be saying shit about him. You're going to, oh, there goes such and such, that this and that, real piece of shit, this and this. And you're going to be able to observe and see the things he does and how grimy he is, you know, and the way they act. You could tell that officer is not respected. But that same one that actually walks around with his chest out and tries to bully inmates and stuff like that, when you look at him, you'll realize he thinks he's the respected the most. He thinks people respect him the most and they walk around and they got that complex like they run shit, like they got the pound. And you'll never really understand until you witness this, that it's the ones that don't really care to be like noticed on scene all the time by all inmates. It's the ones that just a lot of times, you know, keep their head down and just mind their business, eat their lunch. People get in the fights, you know, they'll go by the book, you know what I'm saying, but they're not gonna abuse the book. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. They're not gonna just let you fade right in front of them. But if y'all are arguing and shit, you know what I'm saying, y'all get in a fight and they knew y'all were just fighting and broke it up, he might not go the extra mile to put y'all in confinement. You know, but these other guards, these dickhead officers, either will try to force you to fight people or will literally like try to bury you in confinement for getting in a fight, trying to make it look like you know not to mess with their compound. This is their compound. Get all in your face and shit right here so you can smell their stank ass breath when they're screaming at you at the top of their lungs, eyeballs popping out of their heads when they're talking to you. You know, like, and literally when you're in cuffs and you're being escorted to confinement, they're being rough with it. They're roughing you up on your way to confinement and you're literally complying, letting them walk you to confinement. You see, these are the guards that I feel like they get the most respect and act like they have the most respect, but they get the least from inmates. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same way when it comes to inmates. The ones who literally act like them guards, respect them, or act like they can put down on the officers and act like a guard knows not to fuck with them. It's the same thing. They're not respected by the guards. Them guards just, you know, they just keep the distance and just, but then when it comes down to it, they'll literally try you and literally disrespect you if they have to It's not respect. It's a totally different thing when they act like they're cool with you. But really, it's not a respect level. You see what I'm saying? And you would think about it. Like I said in the beginning, officers work for the system. Inmates broke the law. So off rip, you would think they bump heads, you know? And they do. Every camp I've been to, there's been guards and inmates that bumped heads. But there's also been inmates that were cool with guards and guards that were cool with inmates. And you know what I'm saying? There was ones that were cool enough to go tell officers shit that were like snitching on people. There was ones that were cool enough with guards to where guards would like give them contraband, you know, and or let them violate and go on the other side of the pound and beat up people or do whatever they got to do. And there was ones where officers would bring information to other inmates and let them know who's snitching, let them know who did this, who said that, pull their jacket about what happened at their last camp, what they did at their last camp. You see what I'm saying? And then you got the dickhead officers that will literally take advantage of weak inmates and try to force them into snitching and telling and make them feel like they like them. They're picking on everybody else but them. You feel me? But in all reality, that same inmate that's not being picked on by that guard is running and telling that guard everything that goes on. He's like the eyes inside of the dorm. You feel me? But he's only doing that because he's scared of that guard. That guard hits people. That guard beats people up off camera. Drags them. You know what I'm saying? Plants knives on people. Shakes dorms. Flips dorms. You know, ruins people's property. You know, stuff like that. So that inmate is scared that it'll happen to him. So he thinks he's cool with that guard. So he wants to play him close and do everything he can. And the shit he's doing is breaking the code as a convict. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that same officer he's doing it for does not respect him. You get what I'm saying? Think of it. If you decide to tell the guard everything that's going on and he's playing cool with you, you really think that guard is respecting you when you're a rat? You're ratting, you're telling. You see what I'm saying? You think that guard really respects you? Think about it. And if you're a dickhead officer and you like to put your hands on inmates and hurt inmates and set inmates up and get them fake DRs to get them fake confinement time so they got to sit back there in the box and rot, lose all this weight and everything, you think any inmate that's in your face playing buddy-buddy with you, you think they really respect you for that? No, they don't respect you, bro. They're just both trying to make it to where their time's the easiest. At the end of the day, the officer wants the most information he can get from you. You know what I'm saying? And if he's got to use the put-down tactic, he will. The ones that are actually respected don't give a damn about your information. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, why are you telling me this? I don't care about what you got going on. Are you in fear for your life? I'll take you out of the dorm. But other than that, everything else you're telling me is irrelevant and it has nothing to do with anything that I have to do as an officer. I don't care nothing about it. Like, that's literally what guards will say. You know, they'll tell you, like, you're telling right now for no reason. Are you in fear for your life? Because I'll put the paperwork in and I'll remove you out of the dorm. You know, because that's what people think. Inmates think they can team up with the guards. And it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are respected aren't the ones that you're buddy-buddy with. The ones that you're all up tied up in the mix with and stuff like that. Yeah, people like certain guards for other reasons. Like, of course, if they're bringing cigarettes in or dope or money or tobacco stuff, you know, things like that. Whatever it is, you're going to feel like, oh, yeah, I respect him, bro. You know what I'm saying? That officer's cool as fuck. You know, but at the end of the day, if that officer got sideways, you know, would you swing on him? Because there's a plenty guards that would bring stuff in for inmates, and it was just because they weren't cool. They weren't respectful officers. You know, they were just thinking about the money on their end, how much money they can get out of it, that you pay them for that. You understand? Because you got guards that will bring shit in for you, and they always got a buddy, another guard, who comes and shakes you down and takes it. You feel me? And then tries to sell it back to you. Like, they try to make it to where all three of them are in the mix some type of way. That's literally what happens, you feel me? And you got to be prepared for that. You feel me? That's why you'll be able to see and you'll be able to identify an officer who's really respected and an inmate who's really respected compared to ones who aren't. You see what I'm saying? And nobody really spoke on this before. You feel me? Everybody would just have like a straight solid answer. Like, hell nah, inmates don't respect guards. And nah, guards don't respect inmates. Or yeah, of course they respect each other. No, there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? There's ups and downs at every compound you go to. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. And you got to be prepared for that. Don't ever think by going in there as an inmate that you're going to be able to put down and earn respect in a violently manner from these guards. All they're going to do is team up on you and fall back and let you build your empire, and then they're going to take you down. That's just what it's going to be. And you're going to think the whole time that they respected you. No, they just didn't think it was worth taking you down yet. They rather wait for you to build your empire up. You know what I'm saying? Have everything going on in motion on the pound, do what you got to do, and then that's when they're all coming. And then you're going to be looking at the same guards you thought respected you, you thought were cool, as they're cuffing you up and they're bringing you to confinement. You're going to be looking at them like, man, y'all some real pieces of shit, dog. You feel me? Because now they know everything about you because you trusted them. You thought that they respected you, that you could tell them shit and let them know what you're doing like you ran the compound. And it's not if it happens, it's when it happens. So it's only a matter of time before they take all that information and wait till you build it all up and bam. That's exactly what they're going to do. And 9 times out of 10, that happens to people who think they can earn the respect from the guard by terrorizing the compound, by putting down on other inmates, thinking they got other inmates in check, extorting people, robbing people, beating people up, stabbing people. You feel me? I've been one of them types that's like, if I find myself in a situation, I'll do what I have to do. You feel me? But I'm not always out there looking for it. You feel me? And the ones that are out there looking for it tend to think officers respect them. Same thing with the guards. All the officers that feel like, you know, they got it all figured out and they can put down on inmates, they think inmates respect them. And I'm here to tell you, that shit is cap. You feel me? It can go both ways. That's what I want y'all to remember. That's the whole reason I made this video today. You feel me? It can go both ways. But just take the little information that I gave y'all on my opinion on the best route to do it, and you should be able to earn respect regardless. If you decide to be a correctional officer in the future, if that's your job of choice, or if you find yourself in prison, the best way is to just fall back, stay out of the mix, and you'll realize people respect you more when you just let the institution run itself. Don't try to be the one that controls the institution. Ones that try to control the compound find themselves in way more problems than others. It might not be right away. You know, you might have a little bit of time that you get to build up and grind and, you know, it looks like you got shit going for yourself. But then when them problems come, they're more severe and there's no turning back from them. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, y'all, I'm going to wrap this video on up. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I want y'all to do me this solid favor. Drop in the comment section, man, if you're someone that did time before, and what was it like where you were at? Did the guards and inmates respect each other? Or was it an all-out war? Were they against each other? Or was it up and down depending on the officer and the inmate? You know what I'm saying? I know in some places, inmates and guards have riots against each other. I've been at some institutions where inmates and guards fought each other before and stuff. You know, but at the same time, I've also seen respected good officers. And there's also been respected and good inmates as well. That's why I felt like touching the topic on this, to let you know it all depends on where you're at. It all depends on what system they got ran, how they got control, what they do. Because you might be a respectful inmate and you can't control what's already, you know, in stone. So if you land at an institution and these guards right here are already on the shits and there's a whole squad of them and they're fully against inmates, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to go in there and make them respect you like peacefully or nothing like that. No, they're going to look at you just like you're another inmate, and they're going to try to hurt you and harm you like they do all the other ones. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. Just like if a guard gets sent to a camp and he's not really violent and he's not on that bullshit, and he goes to an institution that's ran by some knucklehead prison inmates that, you feel me, try to put down on guards and shit like that. He might be a cool dude, this officer, you know, and then he'll get put in an institution that the inmates already got that shit in stone. This is what it is. And then it's going to be harder for that guard. You know, they're going to take advantage of him and try to walk over him, be rude to him, try him, might insult him, even physically assault him. You know, like, you can't really change what's already in stone. You know what I'm saying? But this is just my advice. If you land somewhere that has it both ways, to where not all guards are fucked up and not all inmates are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's the best way I can put it for y'all. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all make sure y'all jump over there, man, to my gaming channel, KFROG Gaming. I appreciate all the new people, man, that's been jumping on over there from here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody jumps in there all the time. Like, man, I should have been came over here, man. You been hanging out, vibing. Because I get a lot of people over here, man, that be wanting me to go live all the time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a single dad. I got 2 sons, you know, and I be You know, I got shit going on, you feel me? So I try to like keep the flow going, you feel me? But a lot of people that be wanting me to go live over here, man, I go live on my gaming channel almost every night. Except for the weekends sometimes, you feel me? But almost every night I go live over there. And we talk about absolutely everything. It's just I got the game in the background. I'm playing the game while I'm talking. So it's kind of like same stuff y'all want to ask me over here. Y'all could jump right over there to KFROG Gaming and ask it and vibe. You feel me? I got so many people that don't even play games that be in the chat. The community is just an awesome hangout. You might meet the love of your life in that bitch. You feel me? I got females, dudes in there talking to each other. Everything. I done had people meet up, run off together and everything, and happily ever after. You know, so it's like, you know, it's worth a shot. KFROG Gaming, man, on YouTube. Y'all check me out over there. That's where I settle down and I hang out at. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, y'all, I'm going to wrap this one up. Appreciate y'all watching. No, I can't say that enough. Y'all make sure y'all keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, clout chasers, lying-ass motherfuckers, man. Keep them out your circle. Till next time, this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal. I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit, though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit, though. Cause I'm a criminal. Yeah, I'm a criminal.